Thank you, Ambassador Joey, for the very generous introduction. Really appreciate it. To all your guests at the table with me, Chief Justice Panganiban. We both work out at 5:30 a.m. most mornings. We run into each other there. Brother Bernie Oka, pleasure to see you again. And of course, I am President and Dean Ji Kyong Kang. Always a pleasure to be here with this initiative that's been going on for some time now on enterprise and society, something that means a great deal to me. But congratulations, Joy and Ji Kyong, and the rest of your team at the Asian Institute of Management for once again mounting this forum. I know the kind of work it takes, but so relevant to what we need in the country at this time. Thank you. We share the belief within our group that enterprises have a social responsibility alongside their fiduciary duty to their customers, business partners, and shareholders, and this is something we hold dear within the Ayala Group. Thank you also for this opportunity to close this two-day gathering and share thoughts on how our respective institutions can move forward amid global challenges. Individual organizations can choose to face these challenges alone, but that would limit the good that we can do. A more attractive alternative is to come together and learn from each other, just as we have done over the last couple of days at this fabulous gathering. We have been privileged to have heard the former United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, speak about the journey to rally the entire world, including the private sector, around the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, objectives which I have to say I really deeply believe in. I've just come from a conference with the Global Compact Network Philippines this morning, also talking about these initiatives. But I love the words that the Secretary General used, and to quote from him, global citizenship and solidarity with each other. Really, we need so much more cooperation taking place in the world rather than just going at it alone. We were likewise finding ways to move forward faster with the SDGs, considering that there are less than 5 years left to achieve the commitments that we all made some time back. At this gathering, you have had insightful discussions about navigating global disruption strategically, confronting the possibilities of artificial intelligence, turning to nature for climate solutions, charting next steps for inclusivity, boosting the robustness of our supply chains, affirming education's importance to our future and the need to collaborate to solving our learning crisis, enabling micro-entrepreneurs to become new growth drivers, and of course, unleashing the productive potential of microfinancing, which we just heard from a number of great individuals just now. The topics covered are diverse, but there are golden threads that tie together all the sessions of this forum. Allow me to suggest a few and offer some examples from our own experiences at Ayala, and likewise using the platform of private enterprise for meaningful impact in our societies. First, when enterprises pursue a purpose beyond mere short-term profits, that is when they can most effectively navigate disruptions and possibly contribute to the most for the greater good. We believe enterprises should take time to clarify their purpose, their role in their communities, and the goals that they want to achieve. At Ayala, our corporate purpose remains core to our operations. It is the North Star for the strategies that we implement, the opportunities we pursue, and the culture that we seek to build. Earlier this year, we launched the results of a purpose refresh, a roughly 1.5-year process that demanded close involvement of senior leaders and executives at its formulation phase, which now requires the continuous engagement of all employees in the group. Through this process, we established that the purpose of Ayala is to build businesses that enable people to thrive. By clarifying this purpose, we gained a clearer picture of the investments we wanted to pursue and how we wanted to harness these opportunities. Such clarity in helping us zero in on our work to drive sustainability. By asking ourselves if our businesses help ordinary Filipinos who are also our customers, we view corporate sustainability through the lens of understanding how we impact and how dependent we are on all our host communities. This thinking, adapted from the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, likewise calls to mind the principle of creating shared value by Harvard professors Michael Porter and Mark Kramer, where businesses should work on creating economic opportunities in a way that also addresses society's biggest needs, challenges, and pain points. Fundamentally, we remain a profit-driven business, but for us, operating with sustainability is now not just based on moral imperatives, but it's also a pathway to long-term value creation and commercial resilience. We believe that businesses should inject as much scientific rigor, acumen, and rationality as possible into thinking about sustainability, much in the same way for other disciplines like risk management, talent planning, or internal auditing. We remain concerned with materiality assessments, carbon emissions, and human rights impacts, and how they inevitably affect our balance sheets and our profit margins. London Business School professor Alex Edmonds calls this the rational sustainability. This brings us to another common thread across the forum sessions, the importance of action. Ideas remain ideas without action. It's not enough to know thyself. One also needs to work on becoming oneself. Whether you think of it as walking the talk, putting our money where our mouth is, or rolling up our sleeves and getting our hands dirty, the primary point is follow through. One needs to work doggedly to bring life, their purpose, and values. That's easier said than done, and there will always be challenges and roadblocks in all our lives. But that's where a clear understanding of one's purpose is always critical. It helps with navigating the disruptions, focusing on what's truly important, and deciding on the courses of action that we should all take. Our experience bears this out. When we started ASEN as our energy arm, for example, in 2012, our initial investments included thermal assets. We believed, however, that transitioning to renewable energy was crucial for more future Filipinos to thrive. Hence, we worked hard to become leaders in the just energy transition. Today, with up to 7 gigawatts of attributable renewable capacity, ASEN is now one of the fastest growing RE companies in the region. With operations in India, Vietnam, Laos, Indonesia, Australia, and of course the Philippines, ASEN is aiming to grow its renewable capacity to 20 gigawatts by 2030. In 2022, ASEN also completed the world's first market-based energy transition mechanism, which will allow it to retire a 246 megawatt coal plant by 2040, several years before the end of its technical life. In 2023, they entered a partnership with the Rockefeller Foundation and the Monetary Authority of Singapore to accelerate the power plant's decommissioning by 10 years through transition credits. If successful, this transaction would be the first of its kind in our region. The story is similar with another member of our group, AC Mobility. Formerly AC Motors, AC Mobility is shifting from a business focused on selling automotives to one committed to becoming an end-to-end mobility provider. We believe the Philippines needed to transition to electric mobility and other new energy vehicles to reduce carbon emissions and its general dependence on foreign-sourced oil. There was the opportunity to build a business that could provide value throughout the ecosystem of this transition, from the vehicles to the infrastructure to the services and digital platforms that connect everything together. We're bringing the weight of the entire Ayala Group to this endeavor, with ASEN providing the energy for some of the charging stations, many of which are within Ayala Land facilities. Globe Telecom was instrumental in developing the EVRO app that access these charging points. We're delighted that the fundamentals of this business remain sound. According to a 2024 Bloomberg report, global investments in electric transport amounted to to 757 billion US dollars in the last period of time. AC's mobility performance tracks this potential very clearly. We delivered over 20,000 units in the first half of 2025, more than doubling its performance during the same period last year. It now holds an 8% industry share and around an 80% market share for new energy vehicles through its partnership with BYD. It also owns and operates the largest and most utilized charging network in the country, with over 239 charging points, and is aspiring to hit 700 charging points by the end of this year in over 100 locations nationwide. The third theme pertains to the idea of relevance. It's crucial that enterprises keep themselves attuned to the pain points and aspirations not only of their customers and shareholders, but also of society at large. Enterprises ought to reflect that if they remain true to their purpose and ensure that their purpose remains responsive to the times, and of course pivot as needed. By helping communities solve pain points and realize aspirations, enterprises engender trust and confidence while providing more fuel for the economy's expansion. As mentioned, this redounds further to long-term value and resilience. And this issue of trust is fundamentally important to the private sector. The capitalist system globally has undergone many shifts and changes. But if we don't create a system that adds value and builds trust in society by adjusting to the development needs of a country, then we don't have a capitalist system that will succeed long-term. And that's something we firmly believe in within the Ayala Group. So that on this last point about relevance, allow me to speak about some of the country's more difficult and, as they call them, wicked challenges that I hope we as a community can come together on and help solve. One such challenge is healthcare. 6 out of 10 Filipinos reportedly die each year without seeing a doctor or medical professional, while our doctor and nurse-to-patient numbers fall woefully below the WHO standards. There are many factors explaining this, including underinvestment in the industry, but costs are among the foremost. In 2023, Filipino households paid 550 billion pesos out of their own pockets for medical bills and medicines, accounting for up to 44.4% of the country's current health expenditures for the same year. Among ASEAN, the Philippines ranks third highest in terms of out-of-pocket payments as a percentage of current health expenditures, surpassed by only Myanmar and Cambodia. This is a problem that our own AC Health within our group hopes to tackle. By growing an integrated healthcare platform of hospitals, pharmacies, and clinics, the aim is to provide accessible, affordable, and quality healthcare for Filipinos. I believe we need more partners and institutions contributing to this vital space, although, of course, there are many in this area already, but we need many more. Another difficult problem, of course, is education, nothing new to all of us here. According to the Second Congressional Commission on Education, the number of functionally illiterate Filipinos has ballooned to 24.8 million as of 2024. We still have problems with the growing cohort of educated unemployed. Citing 2025 Labor Force Survey data, former Socio-Economic Planning Secretary Ciel Habito wrote earlier this year that college graduates now count for the single largest segment of our unemployed by educational status. While this speaks about the kind of jobs created by our economy today, it also points to the quality of higher education offered by universities. We're working together with the Yuchenko Group, this is the Ayala Group, to tackle this through iPeople. One promising initiative is the expansion of its partnership with leading online education provider Coursera towards providing industry-recognized skills, micro-credentials, and AI-powered learning up to 45,000 learners annually within our group. Today, iPeople is among Coursera's for campus top 3 customers globally. We're also trying to harness philanthropic capital in this challenge. As we heard earlier, the Ayala Foundation, Khan Academy Philippines, the Department of Education, the Education Development Center, and other Ayala BUs have piloted digital learning tools for teachers and students. By adopting a high-touch, high-tech approach, we train elementary school teachers on pedagogical foundations to integrate adaptive technologies into their practice while staying rooted in learn-centered, inclusive, and reflective instruction. The results are actually all quite promising. Our pilots have shown that in just 12 weeks of intervention, students have doubled their math scores and have shown improvement of 13.8 percentage points against control schools in the same district. I hope we, especially here in the Philippines, can make a mark in our own educational and healthcare challenges. We pride ourselves in our human capital and the talent of the Filipino, but we stand to lose much if our people are barred from opportunities to thrive simply because they're sickly or poorly educated. To close these golden threads, awareness of one's purpose, putting purpose to action, and staying relevant demand us to expand our definition of what business enterprises are, their general purpose, and the functions they serve to the development of our society. Fundamentally, this involves seeing ourselves and each other's as potential partners, all of us in this room. While there's nothing wrong with competition, a lot more can be achieved when we all work together for common causes. Let that be the clarion call that we all answer amid the disruptions that we face. And that, I think, the contributions of AIM in a gathering like this is very much in keeping with that. Again, thank you for the opportunity to close this esteemed forum. Let us all work together towards building a better, more prosperous society and where more of our countrymen are enabled to thrive. A pleasant good afternoon to all of you, and thanks again for the opportunity.
Round of applause for Mr. Jaime Augusto Zobel de Ayala. Jaime, would you please stay on stage for our commemorative photo? If you can, Jaime, along with Ambassador Joey and Dr. Khan. Good to see you. I'm good, thanks. And I'd also like to call on the RVR Center and Enterprise for Society Board of Advisors. Please come on stage. And the Ramon Magsaysay Award Foundation Board of Trustees. Please join us here for our group photo. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. You may now take your seats. Now let's have Ms. Jik Yong Kang for the closing message. Dr. Jik Yong Kang of AIM.
I know I'm not a very important person, but I'm gonna just speak a few words. But I also know there are some of you who are rushing to the door, trying to get home. We're gonna be finished a little bit earlier than our schedule. But after I just say a few words, there will be a group photograph reverse photograph of everybody, okay? So I want everybody to be in the photo as evidence that you are indeed here until the end of the day. Is that a deal? Thank you. So I want to tell Jaja that we're trying to practice what we preach. So he'll be very happy to know now I am a proud owner of what kind of car? There we go. And then our CFO is here to attest. We just signed up and switched it to ASEN. They promised us about 800,000 pesos per month of savings, so I'll be watching the bill. But anyway, good afternoon. Now we have come to the end of 2 absolutely amazing days. I am filled with profound gratitude as well as a renewed hope for what lies ahead of us. First of all, on behalf of Asian Institute of Management, I want to sincerely thank everybody who has been here for the last 2 days. But let's give ourselves a round of applause because you are the one who stayed until to the very end. Your presence here, your active engagement and participation in our meaningful, sometimes very challenging, and in fact, sometimes rather painful discussions, and furthermore, your openness in terms of how we explore possible solutions and contribute ideas toward what we could actually do. All those things have made this event truly exceptional. Indeed, over the past 2 days, this venue has been transformed into a vibrant marketplace of ideas, a space where thought leaders, practitioners, innovators, and visionaries from across Asia, as well as across the globe, have come together for grappling with some of the most pressing challenges of our time. I have no doubt that you will leave this event all energized after having been enriched with the knowledge and insights that will continue to resonate throughout your lives. But you and I also know too often inspiring moments like this can also easily fade away when we return to our daily lives. But I feel this gathering has been different. And I sincerely hope that you feel the same way. I hope you agree we have just exchanged our business card. Yes, we did that. But we have listened to our discussions. We have reflected on many challenging issues that we need to resolve together. And I genuinely hope that we have built a community. And we have created a network of changemakers who know we are not alone in this. Let's not forget what Secretary General Ban Ki-moon said. We need a better and far-reaching vision for people and for planet Earth. He also said, as a global citizen, we not only need passion, but also compassion. Let's remind as all of us again, we need global solutions for global challenges and crises we're facing today. Indeed, all the challenges that we're facing today are everybody's business. But nobody can do it alone. We must join all our hands together. As Jaja just mentioned, there are golden threads that connect all the sessions that we covered for the last 2 days. Clarifying one's purpose, putting purpose into action, and ensuring continued relevance. These can create foundation for long-term resilience and benefits not only just the bottom line, but also communities we serve ultimately contributing to a more sustainable and prosperous future for all of us. As we leave this forum, let us carry forward not just ideas and inspirations, but a renewed commitment to action. We must put what we have learned into action, to hold ourselves accountable to our stated purpose, and to actively seek partnerships, collaborations that amplify our collective ability to create meaningful changes for this world and for our communities. Before we wrap up 2025 Asian Forum on Enterprise for Society, I would like to thank a few people and organizations behind this event that has made it all possible. First of all, thank you very much to all our panelists and moderators. Many of them have traveled a long way to be part of this two-day event. And of course, our very distinguished two keynote speakers, Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, as well as Dr. Jaime Augusto Zobel de Ayala. Again, round of applause for their inspiring vision, leadership, and also a very powerful message, and for reminding us of the collective action needed to drive meaningful and sustainable change. I would like to thank our partners and sponsors, Ramon Magsaysay's Foundation, our co-convener for the collaboration and shared commitment, and our host sponsors, Ayala, BDO, ICTSI, as well as Samsung. And our gold sponsors, FINMA, Metro Pacific, and First Philippine Holdings. Your support was indeed immensely valuable, and also for our snacks and lunches and venues. Your support was incredible. I cannot thank you enough. My deep appreciation goes to the RDL Board of Advisors, our chairman, Ambassador Joey Krisha. Thank you very much for the last 23 years of his service. So thank you very much. And our incoming chairman, retired Chief Justice Art Panganiban. Thank you. And Brother Bernie Oka, thank you very much. Dr. Bradley Googins, traveling all the way from US. And Dr. Anjan Ghosh, thank you very much for joining us. But as I said, I cannot thank enough our chairman, Ambassador Joey Krisha, for all his guidance, all the times and efforts he put into making this conference what it is today, and also all the fundraising he has helped us with. I would like to thank Professor Dinah. I don't know where she is. Executive Director of RVI Center, for putting together an amazing program. I know it's a lot of work. It looks so easy to you when you sit on that side, but when you're trying to do it and the last minute crisis that you have to resolve, thank you very much for your hard work. And I don't know where Joji is. Is Joji somewhere? Ah, Joji's right there. If you are working at AIM, I don't think there will be anybody, in fact, I bet there won't be anybody who has never been told off by Joji. You know, without Joji's help, this event would not have been possible. All I can say is, Joji, get some sleep tonight. Again, maraming salamat. Safe travels to all of you, and let's stay connected and remember, we can create the future we want. if we work together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jikyung Kang and AIM. So let's take that customary groovy, shall we?
So if you stay put, we're going to take a picture. All our photographers will come onto the stage. And Kathy, please join us.
Yes, please rise for, not the Philippine National Anthem, but for Tony Lambino's camera. Our friend Tony Lambino is going to come up here and take our group shot. All right, I need everybody in the audience to come to the center to make sure you squeeze in so that you get into the shot. So Tony, whenever you're ready with your camera, and our cameramen are ready to take our photos, taking our own photos. Is everybody coming to the center, please? To those at the edge of this ballroom, please come to the center so that all of you will be part of the photo. All right, hold that pose, everybody.
It's a tough job.
Okay, Tony, are you ready? Tighter? Okay, Tony is telling us to come together to the center, please. Squeeze in, if you will. Thank you so much, Tony. In 3, 2, 1. Hold that pose. I think we got that. Thank you, Tony. Would you like to check the shot? All right, a thumbs up now, guys. Thank you so much, everybody. And with that, the AFES 2025 draws to a close. It is my hope that our 2 days have given you courage, hope, and inspiration to find your own pathways in navigating what is ahead of us. It's been my pleasure joining you here, learning and catching up with old friends. Keep the networking going. I'm Kathy Yang. Safe travels to you all, and cheers. Have a great evening ahead.
Thank you to our host, Miss Kathy Yang, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The Asian Forum on Enterprise for Society 2025 is presented by Asian Institute of Management Ramon V. Del Rosario Sr. Center on Enterprise for Society and co-presented by the Ramon Magsaysay Award Foundation. We would like to thank the following: our hosts, Ayala Corporation, BDO, International Container Terminal Services Incorporated, and Samsung. Our gold sponsors, First Philippine Holdings, Metro Pacific Investments Corporation, and FINMA Corporation. Thank you to our donor, Consuelo Chito Madrigal Foundation. We'd also like to thank our partner organizations, the French Chamber of Commerce in the Philippines, Dutch Chamber of Commerce in the Philippines, and British Chamber of Commerce in the Philippines, as well as our media partners, Business World and the Philippine Star. This has been the 4th Asian Forum on Enterprise for Society 2025, Navigating Disruptions, Enterprise Priorities for a Resilient Future. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.